Please subscribe, like, and share for friends in other university.
Question number 1. What is a vulnerability in the context of cybersecurity? A. A potential danger that could exploit a system or asset. B. A method used to protect against threats. C. A successful attack on a system. D. A security measure implemented to secure data. The answer is A. A potential danger that could exploit a system or asset. A vulnerability is a weakness in a system or asset that could be exploited by an attacker to gain unauthorized access, steal data, or disrupt operations. This weakness can exist in software, hardware, or even security procedures. B. A method used to protect against threats would be considered a control or countermeasure, not a vulnerability itself. C. A successful attack on a system is the result of exploiting a vulnerability, not the vulnerability itself. D. A security measure implemented to secure data is more akin to a control or countermeasure, similar to option B. Question number 2. What is a threat in cybersecurity? A. A security measure to mitigate risks. B. An attack or circumstance that can cause harm. C. A vulnerability in a system. D. A control mechanism used for protection. The answer is B. An attack or circumstance that can cause harm. Threat in cybersecurity refers to a potential event or action that could exploit a vulnerability and cause harm to a system, its data, or its users. This harm can take various forms, such as data theft, financial loss, operational disruption, reputational damage, or even physical harm. A. Security measure is not the threat itself, but a countermeasure used to mitigate identified threats. C. Vulnerability is the weakness that a threat can exploit, but it's not the harmful action itself. D. Control mechanism is similar to a security measure, aimed at addressing and mitigating threats. Question number 3. Which of the following is an example of a physical threat? A. Malware attack. B. Social engineering. C. Fire or natural disaster. D. Data breach. The correct answer is C. Fire or natural disaster. A. Malware attack, and B. Social engineering are digital threats targeting computer systems and information. D. Data breach falls under the category of cybersecurity threats, primarily concerning unauthorized access or leakage of sensitive data. Fire or natural disaster, C, poses a physical threat to people, equipment, and infrastructure, causing damage or disruption in the real world. Therefore, only option C directly relates to physical harm or destruction, hence fitting the definition of a physical threat. Remember, physical threats involve tangible dangers causing potential harm in the real world, distinct from digital threats aimed at information and systems. Question number 4. What are controls in cybersecurity? A. Actions taken to exploit vulnerabilities. B. Measures implemented to reduce risks. C. Methods used by threats to access data. D. Weaknesses in a system's security. The correct answer is B. Measures implemented to reduce risks. Cybersecurity controls are safeguards or countermeasures put in place to protect systems, data, and resources from cyber threats. They aim to prevent attacks by blocking exploits and hardening systems, detect intrusions and breaches as they occur, minimize damage and recover quickly if an attack succeeds. Exploiting vulnerabilities, A, is the opposite of implementing controls. It's what attackers do. Threat methods, C, describe how attackers exploit vulnerabilities, not the controls used to defend against them. System weaknesses, D, are vulnerabilities themselves, not the measures taken to address them. Therefore, the most accurate definition of controls in cybersecurity emphasizes their active role in reducing risks and enhancing overall security posture. Question number 6. What is a common example of a software vulnerability? A. A firewall. B. A weak password policy. C. An antivirus program. D. A secure network protocol. The common example of a software vulnerability among the choices is B. A weak password policy. Firewalls, A, and secure network protocols, D, are actually controls or security measures used to mitigate vulnerabilities, not vulnerabilities themselves. They act as barriers or protocols to protect systems from unauthorized access or attacks. Antivirus programs, C, are also considered controls, specifically designed to detect and remove malicious software, malware, that can exploit vulnerabilities. A weak password policy is a prime example of a software vulnerability because it introduces a weakness in the authentication process, making it easier for attackers to gain unauthorized access. This can involve short password lengths. Passwords that are too short are easier to guess or crack using brute force attacks. Simple or predictable passwords. Passwords that are common words, dictionary terms, or personal information, like birthdays or pet names, are also easily guessed. Lack of complexity. Passwords that only contain lowercase letters are less secure than those with a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Reusing passwords across multiple accounts. This practice makes it easier for attackers to compromise multiple accounts if they breach one. A weak password policy can lead to serious security consequences, such as data breaches, identity theft, and financial loss. Therefore, it's crucial to implement strong password policies that enforce complexity requirements, regular password changes, and multi-factor authentication for added security. Question number 7. What is an example of a control against malware threats? A. Regular software updates and patching. B. Sharing passwords among team members. C. Using open public Wi-Fi for sensitive data. D. Disabling firewalls. The most suitable example of a control against malware threats is A. Regular software updates and patching. Updating software and applying patches addresses vulnerabilities that malware exploits to gain access and cause harm. These updates often contain fixes for security flaws and known exploits, strengthening your system's defenses against malware attacks. Sharing passwords, B, actually increases the risk of malware infection as multiple users with access become potential targets. Using open public Wi-Fi for sensitive data, C, provides easy entry points for malware to infiltrate your device due to lack of encryption and security protections. Disabling firewalls, D, removes a crucial barrier that blocks unauthorized access and malicious traffic, leaving your system exposed to malware intrusion. Therefore, regular software updates and patching effectively counteracts malware threats by proactively eliminating vulnerabilities and strengthening your system's defenses. This control can significantly reduce the risk of malware infections and protect your data and systems from harm. Remember, implementing a layered approach to cybersecurity with various controls, including firewalls, antivirus software, secure networking practices, and user awareness training, offers the best protection against malware threats. Question number 8. Which of the following is a human factor vulnerability? A. Outdated software. B. Weak encryption algorithms. C. Lack of employee cybersecurity training. D. Firewalls misconfiguration. The most likely human factor vulnerability among the options is C. Lack of employee cybersecurity training. Outdated software, A. And weak encryption algorithms, B, are technical vulnerabilities, not directly attributed to human behavior. Misconfigured firewalls, D, could be accidental or deliberate, but without context, it's difficult to classify it solely as a human factor vulnerability. Lack of employee cybersecurity training directly relates to human behavior and awareness. Untrained employees might fall victim to phishing scams, click suspicious links, or misuse sensitive data, unintentionally exposing the organization to security risks. Therefore, the absence of cybersecurity knowledge and awareness among employees makes them susceptible to various cyber attacks and data breaches, highlighting the importance of proper training and education as a crucial human factor control measure. Remember, human factors play a significant role in cybersecurity. By addressing knowledge gaps and promoting secure practices through training, organizations can significantly strengthen their defense against cyber threats. Question number 9. What is an example of a social engineering threat? A. Ransomware attack. B. Phishing scam. C. SQL injection. D. Distributed denial of service attack. Among the options provided, the most fitting example of a social engineering threat is B. Phishing scam. Ransomware attacks, A. SQL injections, C. and DDoS attacks, D. are primarily classified as technical attacks that exploit software vulnerabilities or system weaknesses. While they can have human consequences, the initial attack vector doesn't rely on manipulating human behavior. Phishing scams directly target human emotion and psychology to trick victims into divulging sensitive information, clicking malicious links, or downloading infected files. They often impersonate legitimate entities, like banks, social media platforms, or trusted individuals, through emails, phone calls, or text messages, creating a sense of urgency or legitimacy to lure victims into their trap. Phishing scams can take various forms such as 1. Email phishing. Fake emails designed to look like they come from a trusted source, tricking recipients into clicking malicious links or revealing personal information. 2. Smishing. Phishing attempts via text messages, often using scare tactics or promises of rewards to entice victims. 3. Vishing. Phishing attempts over the phone, where scammers impersonate legitimate companies or figures to gain trust and extract sensitive information. Social engineering threats like phishing scams exploit human vulnerabilities like curiosity, fear, and trust to bypass technical security measures. By being aware of these tactics and practicing caution when interacting with online communications, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to such attacks. Here are some additional tips to protect yourself from phishing scams. 1. Never click on suspicious links or attachments in emails, even if they appear to come from a trusted source. 2. Be wary of unsolicited emails or phone calls, especially those offering easy money or deals that seem too good to be true. 3. Hover over links to see the actual destination URL before clicking. 4. Verify the sender's email address and phone number before responding to any communication. 5. Use strong passwords and enable two-factor authentication on your accounts. 5. Report suspicious emails and phishing attempts to the relevant authorities. By staying vigilant and practicing safe online habits, you can effectively defend yourself against social engineering threats, like phishing scams, and protect your valuable information. Question number 10. What is the purpose of a firewall as a security control? A. To prevent physical break-ins. B. To detect and stop malware attacks. C. To encrypt data transmissions. D. To control network traffic and protect against unauthorized access. Out of the options provided, the most accurate purpose of a firewall as a security control is D. To control network traffic and protect against unauthorized access. A. To prevent physical break-ins. While firewalls do play a role in overall security, their primary function is not to stop physical intruders. Other physical security controls like locks, cameras, and security guards are better suited for that purpose. B. To detect and stop malware attacks. While firewalls can help filter out some malware-infected traffic, they are not a standalone solution for detecting and stopping all malware attacks. Antivirus software and other endpoint security solutions are crucial for comprehensive malware protection. C. To encrypt data transmissions. While some firewalls offer data encryption capabilities, it is not their primary function. Encryption technologies like VPNs and TLS/SSL protocols are specifically designed for securing data transmissions. Firewalls act as gatekeepers between your trusted internal network, such as your home or office network, and the wider, less secure external network, such as the internet. They monitor and filter incoming and outgoing traffic based on a set of predefined rules, allowing legitimate traffic to pass through while blocking unauthorized or suspicious traffic. Here are some specific ways firewalls protect against unauthorized access. Tier 1. Packet filtering. Firewalls inspect individual data packets, the smallest units of information transmitted over a network, to ensure they meet certain criteria, such as originating from authorized sources and adhering to permitted protocols. 2. Port filtering. Firewalls can restrict access to specific ports on your computer or network. Ports are like channels for communication, and only authorized applications or services are allowed to use certain ports. 3. Stateful inspection. Some advanced firewalls can track the state of network connections and block suspicious activity based on established communication patterns. By implementing firewalls and configuring them effectively, you can significantly enhance your network security posture and reduce the risk of unauthorized access, data breaches, and other cyber attacks. Question number 11. What is the role of encryption as a security control? A. To protect against physical threats. B. To secure data by converting it into an unreadable format. C. To prevent software vulnerabilities. D. To detect network intrusions. Out of the options provided, the most accurate role of encryption as a security control is B. To secure data by converting it into an unreadable format. Here's why the other options are not as fitting. A. To protect against physical threats. Encryption is primarily a digital security measure and doesn't directly offer physical protection against tangible threats like theft or damage. C. To prevent software vulnerabilities. While encryption can help mitigate the impact of some software vulnerabilities by protecting the data they expose, it doesn't directly prevent vulnerabilities from arising in the first place. D. To detect network intrusions. While some encryption protocols can play a role in network security and intrusion detection, their primary function is data protection, not actively detecting network breaches. Encryption works by scrambling your data using complex algorithms and a unique key. Only authorized individuals with the corresponding decryption key can unscramble the data and make it readable again. This process ensures that even if unauthorized parties intercept the data, they cannot understand its meaning without the key. Here are some specific ways encryption is used as a security control. 1. Protecting data at rest. Sensitive data stored on hard drives, databases, and other storage devices can be encrypted to prevent unauthorized access if the device is stolen or compromised. 2. Securing data in transit. Data transmitted over networks, such as when you send an email or make an online purchase, can be encrypted to protect it from eavesdropping or interception. 3. Safeguarding communications. Encryption can be used to secure communication channels, such as video conferencing or instant messaging, to ensure privacy and confidentiality. 4. Authenticating identities. Some encryption protocols can be used to authenticate the identities of communicating parties, adding an extra layer of security. By implementing encryption effectively, you can significantly enhance your overall security posture and protect sensitive information from unauthorized access, disclosure, and modification. Question number 12. What is a potential consequence of not having a data backup strategy? A. Increased system performance. B. Reduced storage requirements. C. Data loss in case of system failure or cyber attack. D. Enhanced data accessibility. The most likely consequence of not having a data backup strategy is C. Data loss in case of system failure or cyber attack. Here's why the other options are not as likely. Increased system performance. A. This is unlikely, as backup processes can sometimes consume resources and add overhead to systems. Reduced storage requirements. B. While having fewer backups can free up some storage space, this comes at the cost of increasing the risk of data loss. Enhanced data accessibility. D. This is the opposite of what would happen without backups. Without copies of your data, accessing it can become difficult or impossible in case of failures. Data loss is the most significant and dangerous consequence of not having a proper backup strategy. System failures, natural disasters, cyber attacks, and even accidental deletion can all lead to permanent data loss if you don't have backups in place. This can have serious consequences depending on the data involved, including 1. Financial losses. Data loss can disrupt operations, lead to missed deadlines, and cause financial losses for businesses. 2. Reputational damage. Losing customer data or sensitive information can damage your reputation and erode trust. 3. Legal repercussions. Depending on the regulations in your region, data loss can result in legal fines or penalties. 4. Personal inconvenience. Losing irreplaceable personal data such as photos, videos, or documents can be emotionally and frustrating. Therefore, having a comprehensive data backup strategy is crucial for protecting your valuable information and ensuring business continuity. This strategy should include regularly backing up your data to multiple locations, using secure storage methods, and testing your backups regularly to ensure they are working properly. Question number 13. Which security measure helps prevent unauthorized physical access to a secure area? A. Biometric authentication. B. Encrypted passwords. C. Intrusion detection systems, IDS. D. Virtual private networks, VPN. The most effective security measure to prevent unauthorized physical access to a secure area among the options is A. Biometric authentication. Biometric authentication. This technology relies on unique biological features like fingerprints, iris scans, or facial recognition to verify the identity of individuals attempting to access a secure area. Unauthorized individuals cannot easily forge these physical characteristics, making it a robust physical access control measure. Encrypted passwords. B. While strong passwords are crucial for digital security, they don't directly prevent physical access. An attacker who obtains stolen credentials could still gain physical entry. Intrusion detection systems, IDS. C. These systems are primarily designed to detect suspicious activity within networks, not physical intrusions into secure areas. Virtual private networks, VPNs. D. VPNs are tools for securing online connections and communications, not for controlling physical access to physical spaces. Therefore, biometric authentication stands out as the most effective option for preventing unauthorized physical access to a secure area by relying on unique and unverifiable human characteristics for identity verification. However, it's important to remember that security is often layered. Combining biometric authentication with other physical access control measures like electronic locks, security cameras, and trained security personnel can provide even greater protection for sensitive areas. Question number 14. What is the purpose of conducting regular security audits? A. To increase vulnerabilities in the system. B. To identify and address security weaknesses. C. To disable security controls temporarily. D. To reduce the need for cybersecurity training. Among the options provided, the purpose of conducting regular security audits is most accurately described as BAU, to identify and address security weaknesses. Here's why the other options are not suitable. A. To increase vulnerabilities in the system. This contradicts the entire purpose of an audit, which aims to strengthen, not weaken, security posture. C. To disable security controls temporarily. This would be detrimental to security and is not a characteristic of regular audits. D. To reduce the need for cybersecurity training. While identifying vulnerabilities through audits can inform training needs, it would be inaccurate to say that audits replace the importance of ongoing security awareness and training. Regular security audits are proactive assessments of an organization's security posture. They help 1. Identify security vulnerabilities. This involves looking for weaknesses in systems, networks, procedures, and policies that could be exploited by attackers. 2. Assess compliance with regulations. Many industries have specific security regulations, and audits ensure compliance with these requirements. 3. Evaluate the effectiveness of existing security controls. Audits assess whether current security measures are adequate and functioning properly. 4. Provide recommendations for improvement. Based on the findings, auditors suggest steps to address vulnerabilities, strengthen controls, and improve overall security posture. By conducting regular security audits, organizations can proactively identify and address potential security risks before they can be exploited. This helps mitigate the risk of cyber attacks, data breaches, and other security incidents, protecting valuable assets and upholding user trust.
Please subscribe, like, and share for friends in other university.